To do what's next, I'd like to invite the host of this event, who I said yesterday became the newest chartered global investment analyst in Nigeria. Please welcome with me no other person than Coach Solomon Hill. Keep clapping, keep clapping, keep clapping.
I'd like to especially use this opportunity to welcome somebody that I call my father.
My father also calls me my father.
You know, my father sees him on TV and says,
He actually...
Bibo, wow, so that's my mid. Bibo, wow, what TV? Like so. Ladies and gentlemen, me and listeners here. Please put your hands together. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Whilst you try to set me up, I will just give you all a little background. I was 16 and confused. My mother was in a relationship with a new man that I wasn't quite understanding, so he was pastor at the time, and I went to him and I said, I'm having issues. I don't know what to say exactly to her without being rude. And from then on, 16 years old, till now that I'm a father of 2 children, he's guided me. And so his being here today is very, very special to me. Thank you so much. It's difficult to say not to call Pastor Nee. Can you say anything, sir? This is the money conference. This will be my session, so to speak. I probably will come back here, but this is what I wanted to come and share with you. It will be just a few minutes. I'd like to say thank you to everybody who's traveled from different cities. Sir, we have people from Owerri who traveled from Owerri. We have a family that came in from Abuja. We have people who slept in Benin yesterday night so that they will be here. Somebody traveled in from Abeokuta this morning. This crowd is not literally from Lagos. There's a lot of people I have a lot of people who came in from Yenegua. Mr. Zia Ibako, for example, flew in this morning. I thank you all for helping us make this event. So I've said that this is going to be called Capitalism and Leveraging the System. And what I want to do is help you understand capital, equity, and income. My time is going to be brief. I don't intend to bore you with a lot of rhetorics, but by clarity. What I'll be looking at will be a parable of economic systems. I will talk to you about capitalism. I will talk to you about economic stratification and our reality as an emerging market in Nigeria, in Africa. We'll do businesses, capital. I hope you understand equity and income, because in the long run, these are the fundamentals of money, practically. Lots of people talk about money and they say different things about it. So there's a psychology of money, there's a mindset of money, there's a lot of things people say about money, but there is also the historical, organizational background of why we're even using money in the first place. So usually, there are majorly 2 systems of every economy in the world, just 2. Every other thing is a variation of it. So it's either capitalism or social. So that capitalism is the opportunity, the system, the economic situation where an individual can own capital. So that capital are the resources such as land, and all the resources that there are to be able to produce goods and services. So capital helps us live the life that we live. And capitalism is basically you being able to own this capital as an individual. Then you have socialism. And there's been this debate over the years that socialism, which is the structure, the economic structure that the government owns capital and handles it and manages it on behalf of the people, is the better deal. So there's been that quarrel. So you have things like communism being an extension of socialism. The intention is that governments would stop people from being poor. And they've not been able to do that. So lastly, there's this quarrel over the time. And people say organizations like Dangote attended towards monopolistic socialism so that the government takes the power from the community and gives it to one man. It's a form of capitalism that is powered by the government. But generally, as a people, we're a capitalist nation. Capitalism is the idea that an individual, a group of people, a private person can decide what happens to production, to services. Capitalism helps people to make money. When an individual makes money, society does better. Because what happens is there's competition. When I produce a good and it is inferior, and you produce a good and it is better than mine, people rush to you, and I'm forced to do better. Price drops, people buy, everybody is in the mix. But socialism is when government just decides to give you bullshit, and because it is government owned and it's a system that we're all using, nobody can say anything. So over the years, people have fought for capitalism and said that it is important that we get the power. Oh no, you don't get it. Russia was communist, which is an extension of socialism, and it was bullshit. Suddenly, this is 2020. Russia is allied with the US because they've embraced capitalism. Every time you allow capitalism drive, every time you allow a person or an organization or a group of people own capital, things work better. Move a slide. So capitalism is a means of production that is privately owned. If you understand this, capitalism at its core, you would understand money. Move this slide. Because there's something called stratification, or what I describe as economic seniority. I'm sure you've heard of the G7. Then there's this new one, BRIC, Brazil, Russia, India, and China. They call them developing nations. Then there's the next level where Nigeria belongs. All this classification is just to show you that some nations are doing better than the other based on GDP, based on production of goods and services, based on management of capital. Then you have emerging economies, and then you have frontier markets. So for the reason of the Money Conference, you must understand, like Shola said, what kind of economic stratification are we in? Ezekiel said rightly that there are some things that you can't apply if you take concepts from foreigners and try to use them without understanding how the person thinks. So there is a thinking that makes capitalism work anywhere. If you just borrow capitalism from wherever it is you learnt it from and come to use it in any of these economies, you get different results. because the developed nations have a lot of things working for them. You see, the developing nations, these guys, this first four, Brazil, Russia, India and China, have done a lot better compared to your next level. Your next level will be Nigeria, it will be South Africa, it will be Pakistan, and those kind of economies. This next level are emerging economies, or what you describe as frontier markets, and the kind of capitalism that works for them is different. This is called capitalism and leveraging the system. If you understand how these things play, it's a lot easier. So emerging markets. Emerging markets is what Nigeria is right now. We dey grow. We are set to have economic potentials, but we have a lot of problems too. We are not like the US. Our economy is not the same with Brazil, India, or China. We may look alike, but the kind of emerging market that we are is different. Now, this understanding is what determines what kind of investment or money strategy you apply. So you hear mutual funds. So you hear T-bills. So you hear, T-bills is treasury bills, yeah? Yeah, you hear bonds. They say shares. They say, no, they call them, they do them now. So you hear all these things, and it sounds nice. A couple of days ago, my account officer, so we have several accounts, for several states that each of our businesses is in. So my GT account officer that handles our Lagos accounts said, sir, please, now that's a banker. So there's this thinking that bankers know money. I don't quite agree. I'll tell you the reason why when I get there. So she says to me, okay, I know there are bankers in the house and I beg to be pardoned, but there are a few things we need to understand. Because banking itself is some form of capitalism. And the capitalist is the guy up there. I love you. You get it? So move this slide so that I can show you what kind of characteristics are in each these things we call emerging economies. Our markets, the structure of our markets as an emerging economy is immature. I was talking to my stockbroker 3 days ago, and she said, what is new in finance that you're bringing in? I'm like, I'm new. I'm the new guy. I'm the one who has sat down to see that our markets are immature because you cannot compare the structure. For example, of the Nigerian Stock Exchange to the New York Stock Exchange or the Japan Stock or the Tokyo Stock Exchange, because we still get plenty inefficiencies. Emerging economies most times have infrastructure deficit, so that when they plan for business for US, they don't plan saying life will go. When they plan, they plan saying, who does this guy name? So only go close one half road. Leave you say, they get issues. She identified them quite a lot. We have infrastructural deficit. You know, this program is called Building Income Resilience in what? This awesome lady also explained that it be like we don't enjoy our dollar level shift, it don't taste more. Because normally we are used to 350 today, 520 tomorrow. What do they call that guy name for CBN again? It may feel the body of I'm not even doing one. And then he gives you a new policy. So we have a lot of policy somersaults, and this, there are several of them, but this is our reality as emerging economies. You cannot use these kind of realities to play the mathematics that Robert Kiyosaki talks about in Rich Dad Poor Dad. You know, but it's something to worry about. However, what everybody agrees to is the fact that we have, what everybody agrees to, the thing that even makes us an emerging economy is the fact that we're going somewhere. But the thing now is this: who's driving us there? The person who's driving us there are the guys listening to me now. Entrepreneurship, capitalism, the fact that capital, the ability to produce goods and services, is owned by human beings, not government owned, and we can create things. So today, we can take a call on a small device because a couple of boys from South Africa showed up and said, "Hey, Nite, get out of the way. Let's show you what MTN can do." That's capitalism. That's what it does for society. It moves us forward. So our growth potential, the things that we can do, you can get as much as 60%. I was reading Jim Ovie's book the other day, and he said the minimum amount of money he wants to make on any deal in any month is what this woman mentioned. 10% monthly. 10% times 12. Because if follow for the structure of what we will be as emerging economies, we get plenty problem. So we're a high risk economy. And if you know money, you know that risk and return are friends. High risk. So your job, you and I, as Nigerians, in this morning conference, is to understand how you manage risk. If you manage risk effectively, if you understand that there are those problems, because a lot of the times we act like those problems do not exist. We act like when you wake up, you all like to always do we act like we don't have these infrastructural deficiencies. But if you agree to it, because the true person who does well with money is somebody who understands that there's risk, but it still goes ahead because it will mitigate that risk and make the money from the high growth potential. So the rapid growth leads to a fifth characteristic. We mentioned 4 earlier. The rapid growth leads to higher than average returns for investors. Is the reason why, even though Nigeria no good, investors still come. Okay, we say bro, back at home. Nigeria no good, people they don't go Canada because they still they bring money for indirect investment. Go Canada, they cry the other day, say input place money for this thing. They just even know say those kind of things go happen. You follow for the things because I said it when I said if you do not think that one day somebody will be crazy to support this will mess your business up, then you really did not know that it was an emerging economy. So this takes me to why I came to Lagos. This takes me to why I sat you here. You need to understand that every investment is done into what? No, not the reader. It's done into what? Business. So that business is the vehicle for capitalism. What? Business is what? Business is the vehicle for capitalism. You can't play the capitalism game if you are not involved in business. Ezekiel said it rightly that you must be involved in business in one way or the other. So that thing Shola was talking about, the quadrants, is that your eye should be on a certain final quadrant. The I quadrant that is called the investor quadrant. And I tell business people who listen to me, the ones who follow me, the ones who I work with, always think like an investor. Even if you're a business owner, even if you are quote unquote an entrepreneur, you must understand that, no, go back. You must understand that business is just a form. It's a vehicle for investment. The reason we call for the money conference is pretty straightforward. This is it. Stock market good though. Una dey hear me? What about the answer for this all? Una dey hear me? Yeah. Stock market good though. I don't get problem with real estate. Let's enjoy the boom while it lasts. But the truth is this. We are an emerging economy. We're going to need to tell ourselves true. And we're going to need to begin to plug in our disposable incomes into businesses. That didn't come in English, so you didn't understand. A business is the vehicle for investment. Every single investment there is you putting your money in a certain business. So you cannot say capitalism. You cannot say this economic system that we are practicing without thinking about business for what it is. And really, this is the three reasons why we start businesses. You start businesses because you want what? Problem I have is a lot of people stop here. So when they get cash flow, they get confused. Money don't they enter, don't they go Dubai. The brain don't they walk well again. Change car A, change car B. Get girl A, get girl B. So a business owner begins to make what we call revenue, sales, and he's stuck here. However, to play the real game of capitalism, the type that MTN freaking played on us, is build a business that you can sell. People talk a lot about grass and books. Oh, you're doing great with it. My father will say, I love what you're doing, and I look at him and I'm like, I can't stand. I find will come by. I'm building these structures, I'm putting people in place, I'm spending money on IT and all because entrepreneurs, somebody is looking at you, you don't even know. They are looking at you and you don't even know. People were talking about visit of acquire because he was able to build a business that he sold. You want to do entrepreneurship, you want to make real money in that thing, think about selling. Sell to somebody who thinks that you have gotten value and they would like to take it further. Or do the one that I like. The one that Facebook did. The one that Google did. The one we empty yesterday morning. To the public. So there are different kinds of players in the stock market. There are people that we call outside shareholders and inside shareholders. There are people that we call selling shareholders and buying shareholders. The things that you tell your brokers to buy for you on through mutual funds and all, those shouldn't go make you rich. Because why? Your inflation is 11.98 as of today. Mutual funds, they pay how much, auntie? 12 minus 6 now, waiting. The money they have every day, they go. So instead, entrepreneur, founders of entrepreneurs, which is either of who is in this hall, you're either doing the business or providing capital for the guys who are doing the business, and we all fall into that. And the thing is that we don't even realize that we're playing this capitalism game. Every time you buy a share, if you buy GT, you give the GT guy money. Guy, take. Do your business. Give me small change after. Yeah? Every time you buy a share, every time you buy bond, you say, Buhari, I can now see that you manage money very well. It is what we, so if you look at it from the broad perspective that my auntie mentioned, then you see that it's just a game. And what position do you want to play in? Do you want to be scoring goals, or you want to be doing defender work? Move this slide. So like I said, we're all in capitalism. We're all playing the capital game. This dear lady speaks about 250 people who provide for her something we know that is called capital. When we gather together and we say, let's aggregate the funds in Brass and Books Financial Services, and we say, let's look for those businesses that we will fund. We're just all playing the capital game. We are putting resources together that create economies. The difference between the developed countries and the developing countries is in how well both kinds of countries have used capital. If you understand that when you say money, you realize that money is just one type of capital. One what? Different kinds. There are types of capital. There are dimensions of capital. There are sources of capital. So in types, when a business owner needs money to do short-term movement from one time to the other, buy goods and inventory, we say you're needing working capital. Or you see idea, you would like to fund the business, we say you're looking for startup capital. So money is capital. Question is, how have you used the capital that has been available to you? The difference between the wealthy and the poor is in the usage of the capital that is accessible to them. Okay, so there are dimensions to capital. So that cash is just one of it. Neil Adesanya has one kind of capital that I wish I could put pipe in his body and take. It's called courage. I put out a post a couple of days ago. I said, there are many good products and services. Few great business people. It is only great business people that takes regular products and services and turn them into great business and make great money. So the issue is the quality of the person. So he takes this thing that we're all doing and he says, give me 250,000 naira for 10 minutes. Sit down. And we pay him. And we say the man doesn't have capital. That's it. So it's not always about money. Your creativity is capital. Your courage is capital. There's Blossom Books in Lagos. There's Blossom Books in Kaduna. There's Blossom Books in Abuja. We registered by Elsa first. And I'm going on that spree. And they say, Oga, can you share? Why are you going around town registering cooperatives? And I'm like, hey, what is a cooperative? An investment club that has Lagos State government license. An investment club that has Bayelsa State government license? No. I'm saying that you've just got to look at this thing and see it differently. You're not going to fit to make this money from outside. You're going to need to be inside the game with them. There are some spaces you can't notice from outside. You've got to go in there full skin. There are dimensions to capital. Naira and kobo, not really in the capital. Shola hammered a lot on collaborations. A lot of you here have never met me, a lot of you. You're here because I spoke with a few of my friends and said, oh, well, they come Lagos, want to make this thing happen for me. You're here because of my relational capital. We need to get sense, like Shola talk. We need to know, say, when the money be everything. You need to take an inventory of what you have. What kind of capital is available to you? See, so if you don't take anything out of this money conference, understand that money is just a form of capital, and wealthy people have learned how to use more capital properly than the poor people. Have you ever heard it takes money to make money? It takes money to make money? Wait, now, what are the answers? Have you ever heard that? How many of you agree to that? You agree, right? I need you to know that that is very, very wrong. Wrong. It takes words to make money. You're here today because I put a few words of paper. Money conference. Come. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Money is just an idea. How do you express ideas? Eh? No, you need to think about these things. Move, Baba. This is my penultimate slide. My father is here, so I don't want to keep him sitting, listening to the Peking way born. I'm sorry, Dad. Equity. What is under that thing? What can you see under there? You need to understand that any investment where you buy, they don't already settle an issue. There was a meeting before your own meeting. You're buying shares, stocks, and stuff. Real estate. Some people don't matter them. There's not more for you to make you take. There's always a meeting before the meeting, and in that meeting, they share equity, they share capital, they decide the formulas. What I came to Lagos to do was to say, guys, come, let's play this game differently. Come with me. Let's play this game together. But you must understand how money works first. Because not everything that you see as investment is really in your interest. There are deals and there are inner deals. And you must have that understanding. So I'm not a very popular speaker. People don't like me much because I tell very deep truths. When a person brings you an investment, for now, I will feed day for the board. How now? I will take on this package together. In what way can I get a share of the mix? These are the questions that you want to. Equity is a part of an entity. So we say equities market. We are buying what has been decided to be sold to us. And it's good. However, I think that we can turn that upon its head. Before a stock or a company gets registered on the stock exchange, now a few people now gather together, put money inside first, carry them big, reach where they come outside. True or false? That's the meeting that happened before the meeting. So what I clamor for, what I tell everybody is this: get into business and get to the deep end of it. Slide, sir. Because if you do that, you will change the view of this word income. Every time people think about money, they think about income. The thinking that is simultaneous and synonymous with money is income. More salary, more profit, income. But income na byproduct now. Income is a consequence. There are different kinds. So in its very nature, income is a consequence of something that happened. There are structures that you set out that gives you different types of income. Gentlemen and ladies, there are what? Structures that you do what? Set out that give you what? Different types of what? Income. So when you take a job, you have set out a 9-to-5 structure that gives you a 30-day active income. Then, when you join to fund a business, you go about your work, your 9-to-5, but you have created another structure that gives you what we call passive income. Wealth is garnered when there is more passive income than active income. Every day money they touch me passively, I never know. Sometimes I go to wait for me, then call me, say, you see the money I sent to you from different sources. I get text messages regularly. God bless you, Mr. King. I just got my dividends. Dividend is a sweet thing to get, and it's a sweet thing to get it every month end. There are structures that you set up. Dividend is what? A sweet thing to get. You know, like 50K or 1 million every month. So that at the end of 1 year, you get how much? 600K. And the 1 million is still alive and well and breathing. And you call for it and you can get it. Somebody should say amen. I'm saying structures. Structures that you must focus on so that your income can be different. Move this slide, buddy. Move it again. I round up this conversation to help you understand that, hey, there are different ways to go about it. You can go about it the regular way, or you can go about it the way of the capitalists. Capitalism is not necessarily about big bucks. It's a mindset. Some people just show up in an economy and make the money from the economy. Yes, they move it forward, but they get wealthy in the process. Have you heard of Afri-capitalism? There's a gentleman called Tony Olumelu. Afri-capitalism. I like boys, man. They be doing things, man. All of you in this room need to work on your personal GDP. So that GDP is measured in income, or products and services, or expenditure. You are too fixated on income. Tell your neighbor that. You're too stuck on income. Income comes when we expend money to produce goods and services. Are you in the goods and services GDP range, or you're just stuck here? Every one of us has this thing. You have seen it severally. You've heard of it in a million times. My problem is this. Our minds are always on that top one. That top one that this man creates. This man is what a business is. A business is an asset. So if you want money, you actually want several businesses. Every month end, I look at a minimum of 10 balance sheets, 10 income statements. I have staff all over this building. Waka shege. You did the one that they cost somebody that day. You did crazy. How can you make 151 profit? Are you mad? Now, those are my businesses. Those are brass and books businesses. Then you have the ones, where's e-poultry? You have the ones that submit their balance sheets to me because my money is inside. What can shade here? Which guy is stupid money? You say, uncle, you want money? You want balance sheets. And when you want balance sheets, this is what you are looking at. Stop thinking about income. Should you be an accountant, you will feel me more. Stop thinking income. Income is a consequence of something that you don't already keep down. We all have balance sheets, we all have them. Question is, if you have only one, it is faulty. And see, how many calls did you get the other day? Oh yeah, one person 15. This woman is a very terrible human being. Multiple sources of income. Multiple what? What did I say is the source? Increase your ability to produce goods and services. What produces goods and services are assets. We call them businesses. What I came to do here was to say, if you have money in the bank, fixed deposit, bullshit. T-bills, bullshit. Bonds, really? You actually give money to manage for you? Fixed income securities. I like those fancy names. I'm a chartered financial consultant. My senior sister is here. And she knows that I'm saying these things from my heart. She is here. There are chartered accountants all over this building and they know that this thing, this bastard is saying where he's standing, they're freaking truths. You're either starting businesses or you're joining us to fund businesses. That's where the money is if you're in Nigeria. I'm out.
There are different types of capital. He said talent is a capital. Did he say that? He said creativity is there. He said courage is there. Now I'd like you to help me take a genuine look at your neighbor and ask your neighbor, what kind of capital do you have? I give you 1 minute for that. Your time starts now. Your time starts now.